Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of our official party and the playing of musical honors. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Keith Manring.
I invite you to be in the attitude of prayer. God, this morning we pause to thank you for all your many blessings, for life, for liberty, for this great nation we call home, for the men and women of the United States Air and Space Forces and their families, and particularly for these BMT graduates proudly standing in front of us today. These men and women join our nation's military service at a critical time in history. They will face enemies we have never faced, go places we have never been, create and maintain platforms we have not yet invented, and accomplish victories we could never have imagined. Each enemy overcome and victory attained will be in large part because of the foundational warrior attitudes, knowledge, skills, and abilities they have received in the 331st Wolfpack. And so today, we thank you for these past 7.5 weeks of training, and for the military instructors, staff, and leaders who have given tirelessly of themselves to bring us to this moment. God, today we celebrate, but tomorrow, the work begins for these airmen and guardians. And so we ask your blessings for their futures. For challenges that must be met, bless them with wisdom and creativity. For difficulties that must be overcome, bless them with strength and endurance. And for the unknown, give them peace and flexibility. Bless also, we pray, their families and loved ones present and watching online. May they be filled with a sense of pride, not only on this day, but each day their airman or guardian serves our country. Finally, God, we would be remiss if we did not remember the men and women, both civilians and comrades in arms, in harm's way even this morning, especially in Afghanistan. Protect them, we pray, and grant them safety. As we commence these graduation activities, look with favor, we ask, upon this celebration and all in attendance. I pray all this with thanksgiving and trust in you, the one who guides the sun and trains the stars. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Manring. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Ceremony. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. The Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Colonel Jeff Pixley, accompanied by his wife, Andrea. Senior Enlisted Leader, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Leary Gaitan. Our reviewing official and Senior Enlisted Leader, the Deputy Commander, Air Force Recruiting Service, Brigadier General Lisa Craig, accompanied by her husband, David. The Command Chief, Air Force Recruiting Service, Chief Master Sergeant Antonio Goldstrom. From the Graduating Squadron, the Senior Enlisted Leader, 331st Training Squadron, Chief Master Sergeant Tijuana Hannibal. Also in attendance with us today, The Commander and Acting Command Chief, 37 Training Wing, Colonel Rocky Wilson, and Chief Master Sergeant Nicole Hicks. The Vice Commander, 37 Training Wing, Colonel Trey Irick. The Command Chief, Air Education and Training Command, Chief Master Sergeant Eric Thompson. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 737 Training Group is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. Our Commander of Airmen is Lieutenant Colonel John Marks, Commander, 331st Training Squadron. Brigadier General Lisa Craig will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. The 737 Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base, San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 331st Training Squadron Flight 709 for their significant accomplishments demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 7 July 2021 to 26 August 2021. Signed, Jeffrey Pixley, Colonel, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating Airmen and Guardians passing in review today represent a portion of the men and women who will complete basic military training this year. The 737 Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the world's greatest Air Force. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the Airmen and Guardians. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. Now passing in review, from the 331st Training Squadron, the Commander of Airmen, led by Lieutenant Colonel John Marks. Commander, hometown, Medellin, Colombia. Flight 707, led by Technical Sergeant John Stevens, military training instructor, hometown, Fort Worth, Texas. Flight 708, led by Technical Sergeant Darren Johnson, military training instructor, hometown, Harvey, Illinois. Commander's Excellence Flight, Flight 709, led by Technical Sergeant Matthew Powell, military training instructor, hometown, Blakely, Georgia. Flight 710, led by Technical Sergeant Sarah Fierro, military training instructor, hometown, Carlsbad, New Mexico. Flight 706, led by Technical Sergeant Robert Young, military training instructor, hometown, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Flight 703, led by Technical Sergeant Kyle Ware, military training instructor, hometown, Queens, New York. Flight 704, led by Technical Sergeant Joshua Casey, military training instructor, hometown, Fairhaven, Vermont. Flight 705, led by Technical Sergeant Kelsey Hannafin, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Alton, New Hampshire. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 699, led by Technical Sergeant Benjamin Kimmel, military training instructor, hometown, Yamaka, Washington. Flight 700, led by Technical Sergeant Christopher Frericks, military training instructor, hometown, Mount Sterling, Kentucky. Academic Excellence Flight, Flight 701, led by Technical Sergeant Monica Braden, military training instructor trainer, hometown, Bronx, New York. PT Excellence Flight, Flight 702, led by Technical Sergeant Jennifer Dowling, military training instructor, hometown, Fullerton, California. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by graduating airmen and guardians from the 331st Training Squadron, performing under the direction of Master Sergeant Miles Hudlow. hometown, Raleigh, North Carolina. These individuals have been hand-selected to perform for today's ceremony. The Department of Defense recognizes August 26th as Women's Equality Day. On this day, we celebrate the ratification of women's suffrage in the U.S., as well as the heroes who faced violence and discrimination, propelling the women's voting rights movement. It is a major milestone still celebrated in the women's rights movement today. The women you see before you represent the female contribution to the basic military training and Air Force missions. Led by Chief Master Sergeant Tijuana Hanimal, Blue Rope Master Military Training Instructor, Senior Enlisted Leader, 331st Training Squadron, and Senior Master Sergeant Breezy Hughes, Training Superintendent, 433rd Training Squadron. The women of the 737th Training Group offer this symbolic gesture in respect to all women who have served our great nation. Equality has not come easily for women. Many sacrificed and excelled in spite of the barriers they experienced to become the first to receive the same recognition as their male counterparts. General Anne E. Dunwoody, the first woman to serve as a 4-star general in both the Army and the U.S. Armed Forces. Sergeant Danielle E. Wilson, the first Black woman sentinel at the Tomb of the Unknowns. Army veteran Micheline Bigman, who served on the first all-female Native Color Guard, and Tech 4 Carmen Contreras Bozak, the first Hispanic American to serve in the Women's Army Corps, represent a small sampling of the best that the nation has to offer. Each of these women, and so many unnamed others, pushed against old, outdated, and gender-based barriers, earned honor and distinction, and have showcased their excellence as equal partners who earn their positions based on capability and character, not gender. We are stronger force because of their service. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Master Sergeant Antonio Goldstrom will now come forward and say a few words.
Airmen and Guardians, today you are joining a team of professionals dedicated to integrity, service, and excellence. The Airmen and Guardians coin you will receive today may seem as a simple coin, but it carries with it the history and heritage of our Airmen and Guardians. The men and women who have come before you have airlifted troops and supplies into the jungles of Vietnam, executed precision airstrikes in the deserts of Iraq and Afghanistan, and delivered humanitarian aid to the villages of Africa and South America. They have launched missiles and flown satellites, defended airstrips, and strengthened partnerships. They have stood on the North Pole, the South Pole, and everywhere in between. To the families and friends of our new Airmen and Guardians, I know that you are as proud of them as we are. Thank you for sharing them with us. To our veterans and currently serving military members, I see these Airmen and Guardians in your eyes. They are us, not so long ago. They are our legacy. To our MTIs, professionals, force generators, and transitioning these airmen, thank you. Finally, to our airmen, what you have done up to this point in your career has not been easy. Only 1% serve in our military, and few hold the title of airman or guardian. Be proud of this accomplishment. We are committed to training you, equipping you, treating you with dignity and respect, and we will employ you to do our nation's work. Airmen, Guardians, I leave you with this. You are joining a team that will look to define the character of our nation and our Air Force and Space Forces for years to come. We have the utmost faith in you because every time you recite the Airman's Creed, you adamantly proclaim that you will not fail. And we believe you. At this time, you will receive your coveted Airman and Guardian's coin, which signifies your transition today from trainee to Airman and Guardians. Congratulations. Military training instructors, you may proceed.
At this part of the ceremony, the military training instructors will distribute the Venerable Airman's Coin, and for the first time, distinct Space Force coins to our Space Force graduates. The lore of military coins has many colorful suspected origins. However, a popular story stems from World War I, where American volunteers formed flying squadrons in France during the Great War. One of the volunteers was a wealthy lieutenant who took great pride in his service and had medallions cast in bronze, with his squadron's emblem on them. He gave those medallions to every member of his unit. Not long after, one of the pilots was shot down behind enemy lines and was captured by a German patrol. The German forces confiscated the pilot's possessions except for the pilot's medallion that he wore around his neck. While in confinement in a small French village, the captured pilot took advantage of a nighttime bombardment by the Allies. He donned civilian clothes and escaped after crossing the front lines to safety. He came across a French outpost where he was initially thought to be a saboteur until he showed them his unit coin. The French forces recognized the unit emblem, and instead of any harsher treatment, he received a bottle of wine. Today, several military units have developed their own coins and specific rules for them. Many organizations give out their unit coins to recognize outstanding performances and achievements. The coins the airmen and space professionals receive today are unique in that they originate here at the gateway to the Air Force and are only given to those who complete this rigorous course of instruction. On one side of the airman's coin, the original emblem of the Air Force resides as envisioned by General Henry Hap Arnold, one of the first military aviators and later commander of the Army Air Forces in World War II. Beneath the emblem, the year 1947, the birth date of the United States Air Force, and around the rim of the coin, the core values of the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the newly recognized emblem of the Air Force, a symbol that honors the heritage of our past and represents the promise of our future. The emblem retains the core elements of the Henry Hap Arnold emblem, the Arnold wings, and the star within a circle. The modern effect of the emblem reflects our Air and Space Force today and into the future. Inscribed in a half circle above the contemporary Air Force emblem, is the Air Force motto, "Aim high, fly, fight, win." And on the border of the coin, a reminder to all who see this is inscribed, "Awarded on the occasion of becoming an airman in the world's greatest Air Force." The Space Professional coin also has a distinctive design. On one side, it displays the original emblem of the Space Force, the Delta, which was first used by space units in 1961 and honors the heritage of the United States Space Force. Beneath the emblem is the year 2019, the birth date of the United States Space Force. Inscribed on the other side of the coin is the Space Force motto, "Semper Supra," which translates to "always above." This represents the Space Force's role in establishing, maintaining, and preserving our nation's dominance and freedom of operations in the space domain. On the coin's border is a commemorative inscription that reads, "Awarded on the occasion of becoming a charter member of the United States Space Force."
Flight commanders, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as a sign of unity as our newest airmen and guardians recite the Airman's Creed. I am an American airman. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians. Now how about that Squadron pride? Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Flight commanders, place your flights at ease. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take this opportunity to recognize basic military training's most outstanding performer, someone who demonstrated their ability to successfully navigate all assessments, testing their physical abilities, academic aptitude, and adaptability to the military environment through multiple progress checks. This airman has surpassed all others in the challenges of training and has earned the distinction of being the top graduate of this class. The top graduate is from Flight 706, Airman Nicole Kareen. This recruiter of Airmen, Kareen, is Technical Sergeant The recruiter of Airman Kareen is Technical Sergeant Darwin Ferrer Aponte from the 367th Recruiting Group, Luke Air Force Base, Arizona. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, Brigadier General Lisa Craig will now come forward and address our newest Airman and Guardian.
Good morning and welcome. What an honor it is to look out to the audience and see all of the families joining us today. It brings me great pleasure knowing we have even more watching us via live stream. 7.5 weeks ago, you entrusted us with our nation's most valuable treasure, your sons and daughters. Your support has pushed these airmen and guardians to successfully complete basic military training and join the world's greatest air and space forces. I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for your support and encouragement. But more importantly, thank you for your trust. It is my great honor to introduce the 496 airmen and 1 guardian from the 331st Training Squadron as your nation's newest airmen and guardians. On this amazing and glorious day, Women's Equality Day, 101 years since the ratification of the 19th Amendment and women's suffrage, we find our forces the most diverse, with the most opportunities open to all who serve. First, to our airmen and guardians, congratulations. This is a life-changing experience. From where you started less than 2 months ago as you left your homes, and what and who you were before, and became leaders in the world's most elite force. From our nation's melting pot of ideas, backgrounds, and histories, you have been forged into one common family and one common future. And in this transformation, the details matter. Your future voice, your impact, your mission, how you operate, and the decisions you make, these are guided by your history and your background, your diversity. These details matter, and the details of who you've transformed into during basic military training, these matter as well. The value proposition you all bring from where and who you came from to the value proposition of who you are and who you aspire to be moving forward. These details matter. During your time here, you've made memories and reached milestones. You've established yourself and your place in the Air Force and Space Force families. Yes, family. And just like all families we come from this common parade ground and have differences, but we are always stronger together. During your time here, you've met people, friends who have become family, and your BMT leaders as shining examples, your training instructors, your leadership both in your flights and squadrons and in the broader Air Force and Space Force. Take the absolute best of these lessons, and as you move through your technical training and into your operational specialties and make positive contributions, make a difference. You are our future. We all need you to do something great. The job you are each going in is the best job in the Air Force or Space Force. Every job is vital and a valued part of our team. Do the best job in that job. Get your basics down. Get the advanced training. Hone your craft. And be the best you. Never let an opportunity pass you by. Educational opportunities, honing your craft, finding special projects of meaning along the way, and engaging in your community. The Air Force, the Space Force, the Air National Guard, the Air Force Reserve, and your broader communities that you will live in. Make the most of the opportunities in your pathway and represent us well. Ultimately, it's the people, the friendships, the connections, the mentors up and down the chain, and those to your left and right. The value we each bring to the force from where we've come to and what we will become. The Department of the Air Force, including our Space Force, is one family. Bottom line, welcome to the family. You make me proud to be an airman. So I have just one question for you. Are you ready to join the ranks of the world's greatest air and space forces? I think they're ready.
Flight commanders, place your flights at attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Brigadier General Craig will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Now raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice, So help me God. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians, and welcome to the world's greatest air and space forces.
Thank you, General Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of the Air Force song, followed by the departure of the official party. Congratulations, Airmen and Guardians, on achieving this historic milestone and marks the beginning of your career. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Flight commanders, dismiss your flights. Please be careful while